I tracked every single calorie for 30 days and here is what I learned. Now, when it comes to tracking your calories, a lot of people have mixed feelings about it. And to be honest, I did as well. But I was also 50 pounds overweight, and at that point, I was willing to try anything just to lose the weight. So during my research, I decided to start tracking my calories. I did this for 30 days and the results were mind-blowing, to be honest. And that is what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. So without further ado, let's talk about what I learned from tracking my calories for 30 days. But before we get started, I just have one request for you guys. If you find any value at the end of this video, I want you to give it a like, I want you to comment, and I want you to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I really do appreciate your support. Now let's get back to the video. Number one, I realized I was eating twice as much as I thought. Now, a lot of you guys probably think that you're eating a low amount of calories. You think because you're eating once a day, you're eating twice a day, that is enough for you to be in a calorie deficit and for you to actually lose weight. But when you start tracking your calories, you're going to realize that you're probably eating 2 times or sometimes even 3 times as many calories that you think you're eating. And that is what happened to me. I thought I was eating maybe around 1,500 to 2,000 calories. When I started tracking, I realized that I was eating over 3,000 calories, which was a shocker. But with that new knowledge, I was able to adjust my calories. I was able to replace some high calorie foods in my diet, and that eventually helped me lose those 50 pounds. Number 2, I realized I wasn't eating enough protein. We all think that calorie calculators or apps that track calories only track the amount of calories you're eating, but this is far from the truth. Apps like MyFitnessPal will help you track your calories, but will also help you track your macros to make sure that you're hitting the perfect ratio of macros every single day. While doing this, I realized that I was not eating enough protein in my diet. Usually you should aim for 0.6 to 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body weight. I realized that I was eating about 0.3 to 0.5 grams of protein per pound of lean body weight. And why do I need all that protein? That is because at that time I was also working out, so I needed to build muscle. And if you don't know, protein is basically what your muscles are made of. So if you're not consuming protein on a daily basis, you're not gonna build enough muscle, and if you don't have enough muscle, fat loss is just going to be that much harder for you. So after realizing that I wasn't eating enough protein, I was able to add more protein to my diet, making sure that I was hitting 0.6 to 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body weight every single day. Number 3, I realized that oils and sauces made up about 40% of my total calories. Just like I mentioned in the first point that I realized that I was eating twice as many calories, a lot of those calories actually came from the oils and sauces I was using to cook my food. We don't think about that when we're tracking our calories. When a lot of you guys are tracking calories, you only track the actual food you're eating. You don't track the oils, you don't track the sauces, you don't track the butter, you don't track anything else that you're actually using to eat the food or cook the food. And these things most of the time contain even way more calories than the food. Let's take for instance, you have a bowl of salad. That is 100 calories. Then you decide to add a bunch of salad dressing in it. That salad dressing can take your 100 calorie salad to over 300 calories just by adding 1 or 2 tablespoons of salad dressing. So you need to be really careful about the amount of oil and the amount of dressing and the amount of sauces that you're using when cooking your food. Personally, I don't use any oil when I'm cooking my food these days. That's because I want to keep my calories low so I can stay in a calorie deficit. And I can guarantee that if you started tracking the oils and sauces that you actually use to cook your food, you'll realize that you're eating way more calories than you actually think you are eating. Number 4, I realized I was having way too much sugar from sodas and juices. This is another thing that most tracking apps are going to let you know. They'll let you know the amount of sugar that you're eating in every single meal. And I realized that I was eating way too much sugar. Even though I was eating healthy, having potatoes, having rice, having beans, having beef, fish, chicken, I was downing all that food with a bottle of soda, a glass of fruit juice here and there, and I really didn't think that the sodas and the juices would have that much sugar. 1 teaspoon of sugar is about 5 grams. A can of soda can contain over 60 to 80 grams of sugar. And what does your body do with that sugar? It converts it to fat, because your body literally cannot use that much sugar. So everything that you're drinking, all the extra sugar, is just going to be converted to fat. And knowing that, I was able to lower the amount of sodas and juices that I was drinking, thereby lowering the amount of sugar that I was consuming on a daily basis. I started drinking 0-calorie soda and adding flavor packets to my water because I have a sweet tooth. So I was able to have sweets without the actual sugar in it, and that helped me drop a lot of weight quick. Number 5, I realized I was eating foods that were very high in calories but low in volume. We all know that if you want to be in a calorie deficit without feeling hungry, you need to be eating foods that are actually low in calories and high in volume. My diet had the opposite, but once I realized that, I was able to switch out those high calorie foods for low calorie options, and that actually helped me stay more full. A good example of low calorie, high volume foods are things like fruits, anything with a lot of fiber, salads, veggies, things like potatoes. These are low calorie but very high in volume and very filling. And things that are high in calories but low in volume are things like fast food. Any type of fast food that you can think about would usually be very high in calories but low in volume. That is why you can go into McDonald's, order a meal, which is going to be a burger, fries, and a drink, and you could eat it all in one go. But once you put that in a tracker app, it's going to tell you that you just ate 1500 calories. You're not eating 1500 calories in fruits or salad. That is just going to be way too much food. So stick to the low calorie, high volume foods and lower the amount of high calorie, low volume foods that you have in your diet. And these are 5 things I learned after tracking my calories for 30 days. And if you start tracking your calories today, you might also learn a few things, which is going to help you lose the weight and stay consistent with your diet for the long term. And if you're someone interested in knowing everything you need to know about diet, about training, cardio, and accountability, I want you to consider joining my Fit Boss community. Once you join, you're going to have instant access to my fat loss blueprint that's going to teach you everything you need to know about losing weight and keeping it off forever. The link is in the description. Now, once again, if you found any value from watching this video, make sure to give it a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.